Hello, Gabby Turner here. Welcome to this pick a card reading. In this reading, we're going to be asking which type of magical spell or magical working would be very effective for you right now, basically. This is a question that I often consult tarot with myself, because sometimes, like the energy is just right for you to perform a particular type of magical spell or ritual or what have you. So in any case, we've got three options here for those of you who are interested in this topic. Option number 1 is Radha. Option number 2 is Lady Nada. And option number 3 is Melchizedek. So these options will be listed with the name on the oracle card in the description box below. So you can just go to your timestamp once you have tuned into your intuition and decided which reading or readings are calling out to you. All right, I'll see you there. Okay, group 1, you chose Radha. So let's go ahead and see which type of magical spell or working would be effective for you right now. So I'm just using the old classic Rider-Waite, and that's interesting. When I cut the deck, I get the Page of Wands and the King of Wands. So it feels like something that's Wands energy, fire energy, could be a fire spell specifically, or something that invigorates you. Let's just get more information though. Whoops. Yeah, I get the Sun and the King of Wands. I feel like the deck is just like, look at me. It was like, look at me, dang it. Okay, and we have Sun and Moon energy. So I would say like definitely something to do with the Sun and possibly the Moon. So we're talking about like a new moon or a full moon, or maybe even an eclipse. Is that what we're talking? Are we talking about working with an eclipse? Okay, yeah. A very powerful yes here. And I just saw 222. So we get the Tower card. Very powerful right now to work with an eclipse. And we actually have, in March, we have 2 eclipses coming up. So that's very helpful. And I can't remember when the eclipses after that are, but I know that there are 2 in March of 2025. You may be watching this at a different time, but look ahead and see when the upcoming eclipses are, because you could be doing some powerful magic at that time. So we have the Tower card, the 2 of Pentacles, and the 10 of Wands. To me, it feels like if there has been something that has been clogged or frustrated in your life and you just really need a breakthrough, it almost feels to me like breaking through a dam. Like these 10 wands are like, there's something damming up the flow of your life. And you're like, man, I've tried everything. Utilizing the upcoming eclipse, I feel like in particular it's saying maybe a solar eclipse versus a lunar eclipse, but the Sun and Moon are both involved in all types of eclipses, but I feel like the Sun here is maybe the stronger energy. But let's just ask, would it be more effective to use a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse, or would either work? Okay, so I was wrong. See, that's why it's good to ask. So both of them would work. So for solar eclipse, we get the King of Cups, but for lunar eclipse, we get the Star card, and then for either, we get the 3 of Swords. So it's just telling us like, it is better to choose. And here it looks like the lunar eclipse, which actually that makes sense because the Sun is more powerful during a lunar eclipse. In a way, the Earth is between the Sun and the Moon is what's being blocked out. So we can't really see the moon. But anyway, there's a potent energy here during a lunar eclipse. And the Star card is about wish fulfillment. So it's something you've really been wishing for that you can achieve during the next lunar eclipse. And it's really going to break through something that has been clogged up and maybe stagnant or just difficult to get past for some time. Is there a particular type of magic? I mean, there are different things, obviously, that a person can do. You could do candle magic. You could create a little crystal grid. Like there are so many different things. Like But so I'm just going to ask your spirit guides, like, is there something specific that group 1 should do, or should they just kind of trust their instincts and just perform it during the solar eclipse? So is it more about trusting their own instincts and doing the type of magic they prefer? Yes, I get a strong yes here. And I do feel like with this King of Wands and Queen of Swords, you all probably have a pretty good familiarity with spell works. And at this point, you know what works for you in general, and you know what doesn't work. Like if you're someone who really loves to do candle spells, or maybe you like to do mojo bags, or you like to work with crystals, or whatever it happens to be, you know, like there are like, the possibilities are endless with how to perform magic, right? I am getting the elements of fire and air more strongly. So if you like to do a form of magic that in particular draws upon those, obviously a candle spell would be one, or burning some sort of incense, burning something that creates smoke. But I really feel like it's up to you and what just feels right to you. What is this 5 of Wands trying to tell us? That is so funny. Like, I'm sitting in here in my car, and this kid and his dad walked by, and he says, "That's magical," because it just started snowing. I don't know what that has anything to do with this, but it was just like funny that he said that's magical, and we're talking about magic. It could also be like, you know, doing some sort of weather magic. I don't know. But we have the Devil card. I mean, we have this King of Wands facing one direction and the Queen of Swords facing another one. It's like maybe when you're deciding what type of spell to work, there's a little bit of a conflict between your heart or your passion, your passionate instincts, like what you like to do with your magic, what makes you the happiest, and then what your logic is telling you to do. Like I kind of, when I'm doing magic, I feel like it works the best when it's just like the elements come to me in a way, you know, like the elements to perform a spell, they show up for me in my life. Like I could, you know, come across a particular bird feather or whatever, and I'm like, well, this bird feather wants to be worked into a spell or something like that. You know, but I think that it's saying like you do want to balance both of these things. Like snow is showing up right now, right? Like it's magical. This kid just said it. It's magical. But like, what do I know about utilizing snow for working a spell, right? That's where the Queen of Swords part of it comes in. So in any case, I think that your spirit guides are saying you're going to figure it out. Like you're very smart about doing your spell work, so don't overthink it too much. But also like, you know, try to do a little bit of research balanced with what you already know from experience or what just already excites you about doing spell work. And yeah, so I do feel like you're utilizing your passion with the Devil card is very important here. All right, so that's what I've got for you. Let me know. I've never done this topic exactly before, so let me know how you felt about this and if it was useful to you. Let me know if you want to check back later and tell me how your spell went as well. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 2, you chose Lady Nada. So let me just shuffle and see. I do feel like it's something to do with money, finances, definitely the element of earth. We had something very different coming through in the first one, but we're focusing on the element of earth. And let's just get more information. Whoops. Okay, we have the Page of Swords reversed. I feel like your spirit guides are wanting you to work with, do some sort of magical working that you've never done before, and that maybe you've kind of you've been curious about doing this, but maybe you don't have a lot of experience with it. So this will be a magical working that will help you to learn and practice your craft at the same time that you are doing something that you're already kind of intrigued with. You just haven't gotten around to doing it. Okay, so we're talking about the earth element. Okay, So, and I'm asking, I always ask questions in my head and then just pull cards. I was asking, like, with that earth energy that was coming up, I was wondering, are we specifically wanting to maybe do something with crystals? And I do get more of a yes. You know, it might be something slightly different for some of you, but it is interesting. Like, we got this earth energy coming out again. So definitely a focus on the element of earth. So for a lot of you, yes, doing something with crystals or gemstones could definitely work for you. If that's something that you don't like, I feel like because we have one card reversed here, it's like yeah, crystals and gemstones are going to be great for most people watching this. For other people, maybe it's still something that's an earth element. With all the green here, it could be working with botanicals, herbs, something like that. But we're definitely focusing on the earth element here. And I feel something about giving back to the earth as well. That there's something about this spell work that's like, we're taking from the earth, we're also giving back. I feel like you're going to be drawn to certain spell ingredients from the earth, whether they're gemstones, botanicals, maybe both, and it will just feel right to you. And these are blessings. I think that these are gifts from the earth to you. This is how it's coming through to me. There's nothing expected back to you in return, but it's like these ingredients, if you will, in your spell, they are without ego. They are unegoistically giving themselves to you, like wholeheartedly saying, here, use me, right? And don't feel bad about it. Use me, take me. Let's say you're walking back past some beautiful flowers and you're like, wow, I really want to use those flowers, but like, should I take them? The earth is giving you something, and I think it will be obvious. You know, some of you will still feel uncertain here with this Eight of Swords, Queen of Cups, like, because you're trying to be careful with nature, and you don't want to take what you don't think is being given. But I do feel like there's a nudge here that you are being given an ingredient, or maybe some ingredients. You're going to have to follow your intuition, right? That's part of how to work magic. But yeah, definitely working with the earth element. And then, is there a specific goal, or is it just to work with the earth element right now? Is there specific spell outcome? So I feel, so we've got the Two of Wands reversed, the Page of Wands, and the Chariot card. I feel like this should be a spell using earth ingredients that is meant to get someone on the same page. It's almost like it could be a persuasion spell. I'm asking, no, it's not a persuasion spell. Let me just check before I say again. It's something about getting someone on the same page. Okay. Okay, so I'm asking, like, is it about making a deal or something like that? Which I feel like that's kind of persuasion, but... Or making a deal, or like signing some sort of agreement with the Magician card. Making a deal. Some sort of spell about making a deal that is to your advantage. Can we get more information here? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay, this is like an employment spell. Okay. That's why it's not really persuasion exactly. It's about making a good deal at work. Like, you know, if you already like where you work, this could be something about getting a raise or a promotion. If you're looking for a job, it's about getting someone to like offer you a job. So getting a deal in that sense, right? Because we have like the Eight of Pentacles, the Strength card, and the Empress. So like getting a better deal financially. I feel like for a lot of you, this is about your work, but it also could be if you're purchasing something, like if you're purchasing a home, if you're purchasing even a car with this Chariot, like getting a good deal financially. in some sort of situation, either with purchasing or when it comes to work or business. You also get the Sun card and the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like your spirit guides are reminding you, getting a good deal is not always about money either. Like sometimes it can just be like, you know, a deal can include a lot of things, you know, like good benefits, for example, or like, I want this particular schedule, right? You know, I'm looking for a job that gives me these particular days off, that helps me, you know what I mean? Like, so they want you to think outside of the box and about what you really need. So out of this deal. Okay, so we're using the earth element, and we're trying to get a good deal in either what we're paid, getting a good job offer, or getting a good deal on something that we're buying or that we're trading for. Okay, anything else to know about the spell that would be particularly effective right now for group 2? So we have 2 queens upright, the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, and then we have the King of Cups reversed. I feel so I think that a lot of you watching this are women, or you're just very in touch with your feminine side. And the spell is also something that's meant to help you. You know, when we get a good deal, sometimes being a female or feminine works to our disadvantage in some ways. It doesn't always. But I feel like it's about, there's something here about being respected, and being respected in this deal as a woman. So I guess add that to it if that makes sense for you. You know, there might be someone here that does not feel that that pertains to them, but okay, anything else here? Okay, your spirit guides also are just telling you to keep in mind, like, whatever you decide to do with this spell, first of all, begin the spell process when you feel very certain of what you know that you want. Like, I know that I want this. And also when you feel like the timing is right. It's, you know, there's a law of attraction principle called the, I was just talking to my therapist about this yesterday. What is it called? Inspired action. When we just feel like, okay, this is the time to do it, right? And like the energy is really there. And a lot of times we can feel that when we feel really peaceful and we're not having to force something, right? I know that I want this, but I don't feel like I have to force it. I don't feel in distress over it, right? I feel calm. I feel good. I expect positive things to come of it, and this is the time, you know, I'm going to strike while the iron is hot. So inspired action, like I really feel like this is the timing. And also inspired action, like I said, in the sense of like, however you direct this spell in terms of your desired outcome, really know what you want out of it, right? Don't just go like, well, I guess I'll ask for a such and such raise because I might as well, you know, like, is that really what you want? It might be, but like, get really certain with yourself about it. All right, so I do feel like that's what we've got for you, group 2. Let me know in the comments how that felt to you. I know that I haven't done this type of reading before exactly, so it may not be for everybody, but for those of you who like this, you know, I like doing these types of readings. So anyway, have fun with your magical workings, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, I have some interesting insights coming through for you guys. You chose Melchizedek here. And I'm actually getting for you like an actual specific spell. So for the other people, it was more about, well, this is an element, or this is the time when you need to do it, and this is the kind of outcome you should be seeking. But for you guys, I have a very specific spell. And I've never heard of this spell before. I've never done it before, but I was channeling this before. You know, just took a little bit of break, paused the recording, and was just, anyway, I thought, I just felt sometimes called to do things in a different way. But for you guys, I went ahead and channeled this insight before I started recording. And What you should do is take a jar of any kind. Glass is better, but it can be anything, just a clean glass jar. You want to like cleanse it generally when you're doing any spell with a jar, so maybe with a little bit of salt or a lemon juice or whatever. So cleanse it, wash it out, and it should have a lid that closes. And the next time it rains, go out and allow rainwater to drop into this jar. So you probably want to use something that's small that doesn't have to fill up too much, but let it fill with rainwater and close it. And then you want to bury it in the ground. And this spell is going to actually help you to have a stronger telepathic and psychic connection to a specific person. So if you'd like to, you can also write that person's name and or birth date or something on a piece of paper, put it in the jar before you close it, or you could write it on a piece of paper and bury it with the jar. But that would be one way of like tying that person's energy to the jar. You can also write your own name on it. You know, I didn't get specifics about that part of it, but like it should be a jar that you collect rainwater in, and it would probably be helpful to in some way, like at least have the intention of, you know, that you want to telepathically create a stronger connection between you and a particular person as you're burying it. But if you want, like, I think it would be helpful to write it on a piece of paper and like probably put it into the jar before you close it, and then bury it. And then that's the spell, you know, and then you just allow this spell to start working. So let me just see with the tarot if there's anything else your spirit guides want to tell you about this. I feel like this Page of Swords keeps coming up, but I feel like they do want you to like pay attention to the results, right? Like notice whether or not you're seeing obvious results of this. So sort of like a scientific experiment. We want to see, is our spell actually working? I also feel like they're saying this might be a spell that you end up doing more than once. Is it more than once to get it to work, or no? No, I think they're saying like it might end up being a spell that you end up doing more than once just because it actually does work, or you really like the results. Okay, so just a heads up. So that's why it's good to pay attention to like whether or not it is working, I guess. Anything else to say about that? Yeah, and I think that they're saying like you can personalize this spell. The basic elements of it are about collecting the rainwater in a jar, closing it, and burying it with the intention that it connects you more strongly in a psychic and or telepathic way to a particular person. But they're saying like you are an individual. You can try it in different ways and see if something works better. Like I was talking about, you know, maybe writing your name and theirs on a piece of paper or whatever. Like they're saying, because this is probably a spell that you will want to do multiple times because you'll really like the results of this spell, you can kind of experiment with it each time and see what works better for you. Does it work better to write the names? Does it work better to just really like focus in your mind's eye on you and this person as you're burying it? You know, you can try different things. But the basic element is collecting the rainwater, closing the jar, and burying it. Those are the steps, and the outcome is to connect you with a specific person in a stronger sense psychically. But beyond that, you can individualize it as you want. Maybe some of you love working with candles. If so, you could do like a candle ritual, and once the jar is closed, you could light a candle on the top and allow the wax to melt over it before you bury it, for example. So you can personalize it like that. And in any other number of ways. Maybe you want to bury it with a particular gemstone that you feel resonates with the idea of psychic enhancement or something. But that's it. Let me know how it goes for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.